Don't miss Clownfish Studios' latest crowdfunder, Crimson Wren Volume 1 on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Thaddeus Wendell's greatest treasure is out there, and it's up to young mage Crimson Wren and the crew of a rundown airship called the True North to find it. But will they find it in time? Crimson Wren of the True North is a race against the clock filled with action, adventure, comedy, and heart. This is a brand new manga-style graphic novel from Clownfish Studios. Go to crimsonwren.com or check it out on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. It ends on November 18th. That's November 18th. And now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. Geeky Sparkles sitting this video out. We're going to talk about Space Daddy. Of course we are. No, this is really interesting though, guys. Everybody is losing their crap over the new $8 Bluecheck, the new $8 verification. And it's gotten so bad that someone has created a browser extension to separate real blue checks, actual blue checks, from new checks. Yes, you get goofy glasses and buck teeth, apparently, if you're a Elon Musk blue check person. This is some serious cope. I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever flip out this much over one social media platform, one website getting sold, and new rules being instituted. I mean, this is like freaking driving demons out of someone. And that's kind of what this is, isn't it? Twitter definitely needs to be reset, rebuilt, rehabilitated. Lots of celebrities loudly proclaiming that they're leaving. I've seen a lot of comic book creators say that they're leaving. People saying they're going to Mastodon, but Mastodon is apparently a little more free on the speech than Twitter users are used to. In fact, there are some far-right people over on Mastodon putting up some pepes and stuff, and they don't like it very much. But we're gonna talk about this drama. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. Over 280, almost 281,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Check us out on clownshishtv.com. We actually have a website. There's a lot of news on the website that we don't talk about in videos. We are going to be hiring some more contributors, trying to build that up, trying to roll things back about 10, 15 years to a saner internet. And I think that's what Musk is trying to do, while also clawing back as much of his $44 billion investment as he can. But yeah, the Mary Sue put this article up. We're going to get to that here pretty soon. The Mary Sue with their real blue check. And that's what this is all about. They're very, very salty. Long story short, this means your browser meaningfully knows the difference between an actual verified user and a blue verified user. So you can easily program an extension to replace the badge for the latter. Yeah. So there is a difference. And I think I tweeted that last night, and I do have my new check, by the way. But yeah, there is a difference. If you actually click on the user and click on the icon, it'll say this was a verified news source or whatever. And then if you click on somebody who paid for verification, it says this person is a Twitter Blue subscriber. But here's the thing. That's not going to last. In fact, Elon Musk has already said that too many corrupt legacy blue verification check marks exist, so no choice but to remove legacy blue in coming months. So the browser might work for now. The extension might work for now, but going forward, all blue checks are going to be equal. All the sneeches are going to have the same stars, and it makes these people very, very angry. Very angry. So let's read this here. This is coming from the Mary Sue. My new favorite browser extension gives Elon's pointless Twitter badge the makeover it deserves. This person probably has their own blue check because they've been writing on the Mary Sue, which got a blue check probably by paying $15,000 or whatever to get that blue check. Have you ever seen the nerd emoji fan cam, the one with all the different nerd emoji variations on screen paired with an absolutely goofy beat in the background? In my opinion, it perfectly encapsulates everyone who's paid to get a blue check on their Twitter account via Twitter Blue. You have to be a total clown. You have to be a total clown to give Elon $8. You gave Elon $8. For the uninitiated, here's the meme in question, truly iconic for me. A terminally online poster Where am I going to go? Mastodon? That's where all the other Nazis hang out. Oh my God. I would just enjoy your time at the Mary Sue as long as you can, random Mary Sue writer, because I think you're probably going to get laid off pretty soon. The Mary Sue is not sustainable. In fact, I'm going to talk about a letter that Musk sent to Twitter employees. And again, as a guy that owns multiple websites, we've been running websites. Some of them you've heard of, some of them you haven't. Running websites for 15 years. And I can tell you that the ad rates are dropping off a freaking cliff, guys. It's going to be a pay-to-play situation. And I always told people, and this is back when we did webcomics, that you're better off with 1,000 people willing to pay for your comics than you are giving your comic away to 100,000, 200,000 people. Case in point, our webcomic Shadowbinders. I mean, at its peak, we were getting millions of page views a month. It resulted in very little ad revenue because quality advertisers don't like to advertise on webcomic sites. And we didn't sell a whole lot of books to our webcomic audience. We did sell a lot of books at conventions and a lot of books through Amazon to people that never read the webcomics. They just like books. They like comic books. But, we gave away the store and there was no incentive to buy. Fast forward to how we're doing it today and all the comics we're doing going forward. They may wind up online at some point, but they're print only and you're going to have to buy them. And I'd rather have 1,000 or 2,000 people buy a copy of a book than have hundreds of thousands of people, freeloading. I think that's going to be kind of the future of the internet going forward. Is we've been giving too much away for too long for nothing, and now the piper has to be paid. So the NerdBat extension came about after notably not verified Twitter user Shadowblood discovered the new Twitter Blue verified checks are more or less fake in JavaScript. Twitter added is Blue verified line and kept the legacy verified line. This lets Twitter's code distinguish between Twitter Blue subscribers and the kind of traditionally verified accounts that have since faced endless impersonation. Again, that's true. You can click on someone's blue check and you can see, and I mentioned that last night. You can click on someone's blue check and you can see how it came about. Now, this is probably just a patch because Musk gave his programmers like a week, his team a week to put this together. So your browser knows the difference between an actual verified user and a blue verified user. So you can program an extension, replace the badge for the latter. 11 minutes after Shadowblood's discovery, she proposed the verified nerd emoji bad image. Here it is in all her glory. So God, this is crazy. So this is like cope beyond cope. Celebrities are leaving. Let's talk about some of the celebrities that are loudly leaving. Whoopi Goldberg, we know, left. Shonda Rhimes left. Gigi Hadid left. Sarah Bareilles, Tony Braxton, Ken Olin, Laura Benanti, David Dastmalin. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Alex Winter. David Simon. Fuck Elon Musk. Stephen Fry playing Scrabble. Kathy Griffin, Elon their way out. A lot of celebrities tried to Elon their way out of it. They actually impersonated Elon Musk and they got banned for celebrity impersonation. I know there were some before these guys. Mick Foley, surprised about that one. Eric Larson, he said he was going to delete his account and he did. I'll give him credit for that. He actually made good on his word. Probably went to Mastodon. Marina Sirtis from Star Trek made a big long post. She was one of the first ones that I noticed was leaving. Like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Tia Leone, so many others have left. But again, Mastodon's not exactly what you guys think it's going to be. And I also mentioned that a lot of people are moving over to Substack. And I remember last year, Substack was the place where all the Nazis hung out. Why are you going to Substack? They platform the alt-right because they don't have a better alternative. I mean, it's just crazy to me that this one social media platform means so damn much to the powers that be that they're rage quitting as quickly as they are. They're not even sticking around to see if it gets better. I mean, I've quit Twitter before too, but I quit Twitter for several months during the election in 2020 because I did not want to deal with it one way or the other, having people just constantly talk politics. And also the spam and the bot accounts were horrible. And that's one thing that supposedly Musk is going to address, but Yeah, here's his first email to Twitter employees after he fired half of them. This is what he said, and I'm going to talk about this because this is 100% true. This is what we're seeing with Facebook too. So much of the current internet is built on advertising revenue. You have so many weirdos on social media because it doesn't cost them anything. I was talking with a friend of mine who did webcomics back in the day when we did webcomics, and we talked about how back in the day you had to be able to build your own website, pay to host your own website, sell merchandise and subscriptions to keep your website running. And that's not the case now. People just find a free social media platform and park it there, and then they get upset when it gets sold, it gets shut down, somebody they don't like takes it over. I mean, it's really your own fault for thinking that this free thing was going to be free forever. You know, it wasn't going to change. Nobody owes you Twitter, right? I mean, you don't have to stay. You don't want to stay. You don't have to stay. Nobody has to stay. I wasn't going to stay. And I'm like, hell, Elon Musk is buying it. This could be really interesting. And I personally don't even have a vested interest in Twitter. I just like seeing all these people freak out because it's been years of cancel culture, years of doxing and harassment. Years of journalists lording over the peons because they had their blue checks and then they would write articles about each other and quote themselves and make the public think that this very tiny minority of very loud, obnoxious voices accounted for more than they actually did, right? I mean, we've seen so many calls for people to be canceled. Yeah, it turns out it's just a couple of dozen Twitter users with a bunch of alt accounts. It's not the general public. The general public was never screaming for Chris Pratt to be, kicked out of Hollywood. The guy makes Hollywood too much money. They don't care. All right, so this is Elon Musk's letter here. Sorry, this is my first email to the whole company, but there's no way to sugarcoat the message. Frankly, the economic picture ahead is dire, especially for a company like ours that is so dependent on advertising in a challenging economic climate. Moreover, 70% of our advertising is brand rather than specific performance, which makes us doubly vulnerable. He is telling you the truth. Everybody's getting hit with advertising. Everybody is getting hit right now. YouTube's down too, by the way. So you can all do a happy dance. YouTubers aren't making nearly as much money as they were a year or two ago. That's why the priority over the past 10 days has been to develop and launch Twitter Blue verified subscriptions. Huge props to that team. Without significant subscription revenue, there's a good chance Twitter will not survive the upcoming economic downturn. We need roughly half of our revenue to be subscription. We're going to see this all over the place. We're going to see more websites get paywalled. We're going to see more communities ask for money. By the way, if you go to clownfishtv.com, we're going to put a donation box up. You guys are more than welcome to donate. The more you donate, the more writers we can hire, the more content we can produce. It is an alternative to what is being cranked out from sites like the Mary Sue. Of course, we will still be significantly reliant on advertising, so I'm spending time with our sales and partnerships team to ensure that Twitter continues to be appealing to advertisers. The road ahead is arduous and will require intense work to succeed. We're also changing Twitter policies such that remote work is no longer allowed unless you have a specific exception. Managers will send the exceptions list to me for review and approval. Starting tomorrow, Thursday, everyone is required to be in the office for a minimum of 40 hours per week. Obviously, if you are physically unable to travel to an office or have a critical personal obligation, then your absence is understandable, like every other job pretty much in the country. So the pandemic vacation that a lot of people had is over. It's officially over, guys. If you want to keep your job, especially in tech, you're going to have to go into the office. I worked in tech years ago, and that was the case. I was actually one of their first remote workers, but they were very stringent with, how to work remotely. I transitioned to remote after working in the office for 5 years, and they made sure that we had lots of accountability in place. Like they actually would watch me operate my desktop remotely. I would call into that computer, I would operate that desktop, and they would watch, make sure I'm actually working. It's kind of weird, but that was the trade-off. Like, you can work remotely, but you need to, check in every couple of weeks. You need to come into the home office, and we need to see you actually doing something. If I walk into your office or what was your office, and your computer is not on at 10:30 in the morning and you didn't tell me that you were going to be away, I'm going to have questions. They would periodically call to make sure I was in front of my computer. I mean, it was, you know, it was what it was, but that was like 12 or 15 years ago. I look forward to working with you to take Twitter to a whole new level. The potential is incredible. The potential is incredible if we can get more people, real people using Twitter. Now, according to Musk, more people are using Twitter than they have in a long time. He said today that lots of people are coming back to Twitter. Lots of people are using Twitter. He said usage of Twitter continues to rise. One thing for sure, it isn't boring. I love it when people complain about Twitter on Twitter. That is true. So we will see what happens, guys. But yeah, absolutely, positively, journalists and comic book pros and activists hardest hit by the democracy of everyone being able to get a blue check, which is so ironic. And there is soon not going to be a difference between a legacy and a new check. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.